What's up, lady? Welcome to day one of your Lady Boss 28-day Lose Weight and Love Yourself live challenge. This is officially your first week, your first day, and your first mission. I am so excited to kick this off with you. I'm just like so stoked for you. I know everything that's planned over the next 28 days. And I'm just going to tell you that if you go all in with this, if you play all out, if you just take note and have a purpose of completion in each of these days, you are going to come out of this 28-day challenge with not only a huge breakthrough, but you're going to see such a difference in yourself, such a difference in the habits that you have in your life, the things that create the foundation for losing weight, for loving yourself, and for really making your health a priority in your life. You're going to see that happen over the next 28 days. You're going to have that big breakthrough. So just know each week is different, okay? Every week we're going to have a different mission, a different focus. Each week that mission, that one focus is going to have two actions that define that week. And then each day, a coach will be live with you here inside of your community, inside of your squad to help you execute on what you learned from me during the 4 focus videos on Mondays, and to help you implement those two actions. So this challenge, this 28-day Lose Weight and Love Yourself live challenge, it's not about learning. It is about doing. It is about executing. It is about taking action, all right? Because so many times, like, we learn things, or, we get the plan, or we get the program, or we get the whatever, and we're always trying to learn about, like, oh, what do I need to do? What's the right thing to do? But we don't focus on actually executing. And that's what makes this challenge different, is we are going to execute. We aren't just going to learn. We are going to do. We are going to take action. We're actually going to make it happen. Because if we can get in the action of making it happen, of actually following through on these habits, following through on the things that we need to do, then you know what's going to happen? There's going to be the foundation laid for you to lose weight and love yourself and get the results that you want. But it all starts with learning to take action. So the first 4 focus, the first mission, our mission for this week, and I want you to write this down, open your playbook, is create your state. So before I even get into food, working out, like, we have to talk about our state, right? Because I know in my journey of losing 65 pounds myself, like, I know I wanted to dive into the meals. I wanted to dive into the food. I wanted to dive into, like, the working out, but the problem was I jumped into all of those plans. I jumped into all of those things without actually having the foundation of success, which is changing the state in which I view what I was about to do, right? When I'm constantly saying, like, oh, this is going to be too hard, or, oh, like, I'm never gonna be able to do this, or it's gonna take so long to lose the 65 pounds, or, I'm not worthy of this. I'll never have that body. When I had all of those thoughts going through my head, how impossible do you think it was to actually lose the weight and keep it off and actually execute on the meals, like on the nutrition, on the exercise? Like, I couldn't execute on those things because I was constantly telling myself, like, I'm not gonna be able to do it, or this is hard, or, I'm just not sure. My body's just different. I'm just different than everyone else. Like, they could have those results, but those results aren't for me. And so we really have to uproot all of those thinkings. We have to uproot all of those negative thoughts, all of those terrible things that we say to ourselves in the mirror, or every time we put an outfit on. Like, we have to uproot all those things, because if we have that there, while trying to change our bodies, while trying to change our health, we will never have success. And most of us, like, we try to just jump right in. And I really believe that I was putting the cart before the horse. I didn't have my mindset right. I didn't have my mind right, my state right for actually executing on the things that I needed to do. So, you can have the food to eat and the workouts to do, but creating your state, like, your state is the missing piece. It's the reason why when you come into a plan, when you come into a challenge, you come into a program, that you're not able to keep and have consistent success. Why the weight doesn't just come off and stay off for good is because our state isn't actually right when we're coming into that plan, to that program. And so it has to come, your state has to come before the fitness and nutrition. So our mission for this week is create your state. Let me tell you a little bit about state, okay? State, this is a condition that you live in. So think about this, think through this. The condition that you live in. Do you live in a stressed, overwhelmed, anxious state? Like if you were to sit and tell me what your natural, right now, how you usually feel. Do you normally feel stressed? Are you normally feeling overwhelmed? Are you normally feeling anxious? Or do you normally, in your natural state, hanging out, feel like you're always hopeful and positive and joyous? Is that your state? Right? Because you have to be intentional about creating your state by design. Instead of letting it be dictated by your environment or the coffee that gets spilled or, waking up in the morning and things start going wrong and we are dictated by our day, we have to take control of that. So I want to read again. State. This is a condition you live in. Do you live in a stressed, overwhelmed, anxious state, or do you live in a hopeful, positive, joyous state? You must be intentional and create your state by design instead of letting it be dictated by your environment. That's so good. I'm tired of letting my life be dictated around what's happening around me, right? Because your state affects every aspect of your life. It literally pours into everything. Do you ever find yourself where you're just I don't know why I'm upset. I don't know why I'm stressed out, or you just feel you're stressed all the time and anxious all the time. And it's just kind of how you're living life, how you're going through life. Well, I'm just here to tell you that we can change that. We can create the state that we live in. We can choose to be happy. Even though there's parts of life that stress us out or things that we need to do or we get overwhelmed, that's not the actual state that we live in. If, for example, how many times have you woke up and telling yourself, I'm having a bad day, I'm in a bad mood, right? And then you proceed the rest of the day, it feels like everything goes wrong. It feels like everything it is just falling apart, or everything, everybody's getting on your nerves, right? You're just in a bad mood all day. And I want you to stop and think about for a second, the true answer. Because I know sometimes it's hard to admit how we are or how we're acting, but we can't change it if you don't recognize it, right? So what state do you live in? Are you rushing all the time? Are you quick to anger? Are you constantly stressed? Are you reactive to all the things that are happening in your day? Are you reactive to everything that's happening in your day? Someone looks at you wrong, you're I can't believe they looked at me that way. And then all day, you're just fuming over these tiny little things, right? And I know it's not an easy thing to be honest about, but I want to help you get out of this current state that's keeping you trapped. Because that's the truth. You are trapped by circumstance. You're trapped and reactive to the things that are happening around you. Instead of choosing to live in a state that's going to help you instead of work against you. So I'm going to show you how to step into that powerful state each day. But, for me, I noticed several years ago when I was on my weight loss journey, I was so reactive to everything around me. I'd wake up and I'd be I'm in a bad mood, and I'd let it ruin my whole day. Something would go wrong and it would literally derail everything else about my day. Someone would say something to me that I didn't like and I would just blow up, and then I would be mad all day long. It would literally hinder me. That one tiny thing would change my entire day. And I didn't realize that I could just choose to change it. So, when I got discouraged, I would stay in that state. I would stay moping around for weeks. If I didn't get to my goal weight that week, or I didn't lose a certain amount of pounds that week, it's I would get discouraged, and I would stay in that state of discouragement, moping around for weeks and weeks on end, because I didn't know I could just pull myself out. And I know I'm not alone, right? Some of this sounds familiar to you maybe. Well, one day I heard one of my mentors that I listened to a lot, and I heard them say this, and it completely changed my entire life, my entire state of mind, the way that I saw what I was doing to myself, right? Not what other people were doing to me, because there's no such thing. When other people do something, it's your choice to how you react to it, and how you let what they've done change your mood, change your state, change your happiness level, right? So what I heard was the number one key to success in life is to master your own state. If you manage and master your state, there's nothing you can't do. Let me read it again. The number one key to success in life is to master your own state. If you manage to master your state, there's nothing you can't do. So no matter what someone says to me, no matter what happens, no matter what gets derailed, no matter what gets thrown on top of my giant list of things to do, like I choose, like I master my state. I'm not going to get stressed. I'm not going to get overwhelmed. I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to get angry. I don't, like, it's literally the difference in thinking like that person is not going to have the power to make me angry. That person is not going to, I'm not going to give them the power to make me upset. They don't deserve that, right? Like they don't deserve that type of power over me. So when I started hearing this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the truest thing I've ever heard. It's like I saw the sun like for the very first time, like the clouds parted out of my state of discouragement and anger and sadness. And I was like, wow, like I'm the only one in control of my state. Like no one else and nothing else has the power to change my state except for me. A person can't like make me mad. Like I make myself get mad because of what happened, right? A spilled coffee can't ruin my day. I choose to let it ruin my day. A missed workout can't discourage me. I make myself become discouraged. Like, are you ladies getting this? Like, I just needed to learn how to manage my state so I could stop being reactive to the situations around me. Does any of this sound familiar to you? Comment yes if it does, because I know I'm not the only one. And so, you know, I really just thought about it. I was like, wow, I really need to renew my state of mind. So my default reactions aren't going to be immediately stressed, to be immediately angered, to be immediately discouraged. Like you all know, like one tiny thing happens and we like blow up, right? Like those were my default reactions to everything around me because I thought that was just what I was supposed to do. I thought that it was like, oh, like they made me mad. They made me angry, right? And then what else I learned was, you know, you really have to focus on the patterns of your thoughts, right? Like through my own transformation, I realized like in order to renew my mind, I need to renew my thoughts. The type of thoughts I'm having about myself, the type of thoughts I'm having about the circumstances around me. I learned I am who I believe I am. You are who you believe you are. Nothing more and nothing less. What you believe about yourself, what you believe to be true is true in your life, okay? And it will manifest as such. So you act and you react based on those beliefs about yourself. Write that down. I am who I believe I am, and I act and react based on those beliefs about myself. So if I'm constantly telling myself, I'm stressed out, I'm stressed out, I'm stressed out, guess what happens? Guess what happens in every situation? As soon as something becomes difficult, I start reacting based on those beliefs about myself where I've told myself, I'm stressed, I'm stressed, I'm stressed, right? So then my immediate reaction, because my belief about myself is that I'm stressed, is go into stressed mode. Go into stressed mode by default. And it stings a little, right? Thinking about it, right? It's like, wow. You know, nothing else has the power to make me feel any of these things except for myself. And I've been allowing myself to immediately react in these ways, but it's okay. And it's not your fault. It wasn't my fault either. We just didn't know, but now you know. Now you know that you are in control of that power. And today I'm going to help you shift and get that power back. Okay? I'm going to help you get that power back. Because negative self-talk, it is seriously a nasty virus. It steals all of your joy, all of your excitement. It steals your ability to change. Like it's the biggest reason why women fall and fall down, fall off the wagon and fail in their weight loss journey over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Because we tell ourselves, even though we're like, I want to lose weight. I want to lose my 65 pounds. I want to get healthy. But all the negative self-talk that's there, all of those beliefs that we have about ourselves, all of those tiny little thoughts in our mind that pop up and tell us, oh, we can't do it, or it's going to take you forever, or those results aren't for you, that two-piece bikini isn't for you, like that confidence isn't for you. Like all of that stuff is what's literally cutting us off at our knees from actually getting to the results that we want to get to in our journey, in our health journey, right? And so the only way to get rid of the negative self-talk is to uproot the old, to uproot those negative thoughts and to replace them with new, positive, self-loving, I can do this thoughts, right? We have to uproot the old and we have to put in the new. And as we're putting in the new, the things that we believe about ourselves causes us to act and react differently, okay? So if I'm believing I'm stressed all the time, or I'm just like mad at people, or, you know, that's just like who I am, that's just how I am, right? Those types of thoughts steal from us. They steal our joy. But if I believe like I'm kind and patient to people, I'm confident, I'm happy, like I am a happy person, that's what I believe about myself, then how do you think I act and react differently when stuff happens? It's true, and it doesn't happen like overnight, but this is constantly something that we're working on, right? So the goal is that we need to get more positive thoughts into our minds, like about ourselves, and we need to get the old negative thoughts pushed out. Like we need them out and we need new ones in. So I just want you to imagine for a second that you have like a cup of water, right? A full cup of water. It's like completely full to the rim. In the cup, this symbolizes our mind, right? The cup is our mind, and the water is our negative, like is the negative thoughts inside, and it's filled to the brim. All of those things that people have been telling us about ourselves for years, what, you know, whatever our bullies said to us, whatever, you know, like if our parents spoke down to us, like all of those things, that's the water inside of our glass. And if this glass of water, this full glass of water was glued to the ground, and it's immovable and unchangeable like our past, we can't change those things, we can't go back and make people not say these things to us, like how do we get that water out of the glass? How do we get the negative thoughts out of the glass, and how do we get new beliefs in? Well, we have to get the old water out first, right? We have to pour in new water. We have to pour in positive thoughts, because as we pour in, imagine me having a pitcher of water here. As we pour in the new thoughts, what happens? The old spills out. The old water rinses out and the new water stays inside the cup. Now, let me tell you this, like this is a process. It's not like we're just gonna dump it all in at once and it's all just gonna happen overnight or in one split second that all the negative thoughts are just gonna spill out. Okay, the process of changing your current mind to a new one is more like using a water dropper, right? One drop at a time, one thought of it at a time that we change. Okay, it's not the pitcher, it's a dropper. But each time that you drop a new positive thought, a new positive belief about yourself into your mind, a negative one will spill out. A negative one will spill out. And after a while, like when a negative thought starts popping up in your mind, you're going to be able to decline it, and you're going to be able to push it out of your mind without even skipping a beat. Like now when negative things start to pop in my mind, I'm so used to pushing them out and knowing like that's not one of my thoughts. That's not how I think about myself or what I believe about myself. And I can push it out of my mind without skipping a beat, So the goal and the mission for this week is to help you do that, is to help start pushing those negative thoughts out and pushing these new positive thoughts in. So how do we do it, right? How do we change those beliefs about ourselves, and how do we prime our minds to be proactive instead of reactive each day? Well, we step into our power and we create our presence. We step into our power and we create our presence. All right, so these are the 2 action steps to this week's mission. You can see this in your playbook. Open it up, look right there. The first part, okay, there's 2 action steps to this week. So these are only 2 things we're focused on doing this week for this mission of create your state. And the first part of this week's mission is power, right? Power. We're going to step into our power. So this is where you are going to create, you're going to read your power statement on a daily basis. So I want you to open right now. I'm going to open one here on the screen for you. But I want you to open right now to page 12 and 13 of your playbook. I'm going to share mine with you so we can do this together. Page 12 and 13 of your playbook. All right. So this is your power statement. And just like we have a Lady Boss manifesto, which is about all lady bosses and like who we are and, you know, how we act, this power statement is for you personally. It has your personal goals, your personal struggles plugged in. So I want you to open to this page and you can see this is like a fill in the blank, and you're actually going to fill in your own on this page, but we're going to do this together. So right now, open it up, and I want you to start filling in the blanks. I became a lady boss because I want to, and this is where I want you to put in your specific, you know, health or weight loss goal, right? You could say, because I want to lose 100 pounds and get my life back, right? It could be, I want to lose 30 pounds to be able to play with my kids. You can fill that in. I know I can do this because I am positive affirmation and positive affirmation. I want you to write something great about yourself here that you want to come to fruition. So like on mine, I could put, I know I can do this because I am capable of anything and confident in myself. All right. I know it won't happen overnight, but I will trust the process. I will pick myself up even when I fall off the wagon and want to quit. Because I have a track record of that, right? So write in your struggle. Even when I fall off the wagon, or even when I binge on Oreos, or even when I have a couple bad days, because I am determined and committed, those are my two positive affirmations, because I am determined and committed, I will focus on making good decisions when I go out to eat. That's my positive action. That's one of the hardest things for me, was like going out to eat, making the right decision, right? So positive action, even when I will focus on, yes, and going to the gym every weekday morning. So that's my other positive action. I will focus on making good decisions when I go out to eat and going to the gym every weekday morning. So another positive action, because I am committed to being able to, this is where I want you to write in a personal result action, okay? I am committed to being able to go shopping and feel comfortable when I try on clothes. How awesome would that be? I will never give up, because ultimately I am doing this because heart disease runs in my family and I don't want to leave my children without their mother. This is like your big why result. This is like the one that should like hurt you when you say it, right? Like heart disease runs in my family and I don't want to leave my children without their mother. That's like the big why result of why I need to lose this 65 pounds, why I need to lose this 40 pounds, why I need to get in the right mindset, why I need to love myself more. What is that big why result? Your why should make you cry. This should be like the real one for you. It should like hit home and it should hurt when you think about it. Because if you don't lose the weight, if you don't get healthy, if you don't like get yourself on track, if you don't start taking your health seriously, like what is the big scary thing that will happen? And that's your big why result. I am a lady boss. I can do this and I will do this. So if you scroll down, this is actually, or if you flip your page, this is where I want you to write yours in right here on this page. And this becomes your personal power statement, your personal power statement. So using that fill in the blank process right there, it's just like a Mad Lib. It's really fun. And create your own personalized version. So each morning, here's the action step. Because once you create this, like you can change yours. I revisit mine like every couple months because it changes and it grows. And as you lose weight, as you become healthier, as you create new habits in your life, like these change. So each morning, the action step for this week for power is each morning, I want you to read your Lady Boss personal power statement out loud to yourself. All right? Just like the water drop. If you read this to yourself every day and you're saying like that you're confident, you're speaking positive affirmations over yourself and how you're going to do it no matter what. Like if you're reading it and meaning it over yourself, this is going to prime you for every obstacle ahead in your day. It's going to put you in the right mindset. It's going to start speaking those, you're going to start speaking those positive things into your life and speaking life over yourself instead of death. So even if you don't believe like your power statement to be true yet, that's how I felt about mine when I first started like using affirmation. When I started speaking over myself, I was like, I'm confident, I'm beautiful, and like I didn't even believe those things yet. I didn't believe them about myself. But the more I spoke them over myself, the more I said it anyways, the more, even though it was uncomfortable, even though it felt weird to me, like I did it anyway. And it completely changed my life. It completely changed everything. Because then it was like all of a sudden I was believing it. Like one day it was just like, yeah, I am confident and I'm beautiful and I can do this. Like I saw my attitude change. But in the beginning I didn't believe it. So even if you don't believe it to be true yet, I want you to read it and I want you to mean it. Because just like we talked about earlier, you are who you believe you are. Nothing more and nothing less. You are who you believe you are. And you will only achieve what you believe you will achieve. So when you speak this power statement over yourself every morning, this is who you are and this is what you're going to achieve, like your body will prime yourself to actually accomplish it, to actually believe that it's true. The mind is awesome. It doesn't have to have hard, tangible evidence that you are confident. But if you're speaking it over yourself that you are, your mind and your body starts to believe that you are, because you are who you believe you are. So every day, I want you to read this LadyBoss personal power statement over yourself every single morning. First thing that you should do. Walk into your bathroom, have it like up on your mirror, have it on your phone, pull up your power statement and read it to yourself. And don't wait to write this. Write this right now, okay? Write it right now, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it feels weird, do it anyways. So that's the first half of this week's mission is power. The action is to read your power statement every morning. Okay, now I'm going to show you the second part to this week's mission. The first part was what? Power. Read your power statement. The second part of this week's mission of creating your state is presence. Okay, presence. So this is listening to LadyBoss presence track. You remember how I talked about just like a little bit earlier about how we need to change our thought patterns because the negative self-talk and the self-discouragement and the things that we speak over ourselves or what other people speak over us, like they have to go. So the way that you do this is by listening to your LadyBoss presence track, which is a guided meditation track once a day, first thing in the morning or while you're going to bed at night. So these tracks are amazing. You can choose from a short 4-minute version in the morning that you can listen to, or you can do the longer presence track at night that you actually turn on like with your headphones. You actually turn on and you can fall asleep listening to it at night. And it's a longer track. But I love this one because like even if you're asleep, even if you're falling asleep, your subconscious starts learning what you're saying about it. And these presence tracks, they're so powerful because it just speaks over you, just life and who you are and that you're confident, that you're amazing and that you're beautiful and that like it's the dropper, right? It's dropping all those positive thoughts in and pushing all the negative ones out. The presence tracks are going to help you relax and de-stress. Like they were created to help uproot those old negative thought patterns about yourself and your body and your life and who you are, and to replace them with powerful beliefs about yourself, that you are strong, that you are worthy, and that you are 100% going to get to your goal. Because, you know, a lot of the times we're like, oh, I just wish there was someone around to like cheer me on and to tell me how awesome I was. And blah, blah. That will never happen. That will never happen. You are the only person responsible for speaking encouragement into your own life. You are the only person responsible, not your spouse, not your friends, not your family. You are the person that is responsible for speaking life and speaking encouragement into yourself every single day. So the way that you can do this is by listening to your LadyBoss presence tracks with your headphones, like while getting ready, while sitting quietly in the morning, while laying in bed at night, while driving to work, while doing cardio. You can do it literally pretty much anywhere. So the second part, your second action for this week is to listen to your LadyBoss presence track first thing in the morning, or listen to the nighttime track where you can go to sleep at night. And so you will find these at ladyboss.com/presence. The link is on this video, so you can just click there and go, and I want you to choose which track you're going to listen to. There's different versions of the morning ones, the 4-minute versions, and there's also the night version. So you can pick which one that you're going to listen to, and they're 4 minutes, right? They're 4 minutes. So it doesn't take a lot of time, but it primes your day and your mind with positive thoughts about yourself and affirmations that you are freaking amazing, that you can do this, and this is how we create our state. So our mission for this week, just to recap, our mission for this week is to create your state. There's 2 daily actions that you need to do every day this week, only 2. Power and presence, okay? Power and presence. You'll receive a half a point, because remember on our challenge roadmap, how we're going to track our points, you will receive a half a point for completing the action of power. So when you read your power statement out loud to yourself, you get a half a point for that. And you're going to get a half a point for completing the action of presence, so listening to your presence track. So that totals 1 point each day this week. You're going to track it on your roadmap. I'm going to show it to you so you can see exactly how and where you need to track it. There you go. So right here on the points, you can see after you complete power for a half a point and presence for half a point, you'll put a 1 here, okay? The goal is to just get that 1 point every day this week, that 1 point. In total, this should take you about 4.5 minutes of your day. There is absolutely no reason why every single day this week you shouldn't have a point, but if you do, that's fine. Like, if you miss it, that's fine. You just total the half point or the 0, and then we'll track our weekly point total right here on the roadmap, okay? So you'll track it right here on your roadmap. Easy to see. You'll get a half a point for reading your power statement and a half a point for listening to your presence track. And so you should have a total of 1 point for each day of this week. All right? The mission for this week is what? Create your state. And, we do this by earning that point each day by completing power and presence, the action of power and presence. We create our state. So what I want you to do is, if you haven't already wrote in your playbook and created your power statement, I want you to do that right now. And I want you to read it daily out loud to yourself. And then you need to choose your meditation track right now, like right now. Pause this, choose your meditation track, and listen to it. Create your power statement and choose your meditation track is your action. Like, get it done right now, right, like pause this video and do it right now. And it's so important, ladies. It's so important because, honestly, like when people used to speak over me and bullies used to speak over me and people used to tell me all this negative stuff about myself, and like even to this day, right? Like being on social media, the things that people say to me and speak over me, like back then it would have just crumbled me. I would have just crumbled. But I've learned, like through this process of power and presence, I've learned who I really am. I've learned to speak life for myself, to have that positive self-talk. So now when people say stuff about me on social media, or they comment on my video or comment on my picture, and they tell me like, oh, your voice is so annoying, or you're stupid, or whatever, it's like, I know all that is not true. None of it, like it doesn't even faze me anymore like it used to, because I know who I really am. I have confidence. Like I know that like I hold the power of how I react to what people say about me and to what happens in my day, right? Because what comes in your mind comes out of your mouth. What comes into your mind comes out of your mouth. And if you're feeding in positive things to your mind about yourself, that's how you speak about yourself. That's how you talk about yourself. You stop saying like, I look so fat in this. Oh, I look terrible. I hate this. I'm ugly. I'm not worth, like that'll never work for me, right? Like what comes into our mouth comes out of our mouth. So we have to make sure what's going into our mind through our power statement or our presence track is the things that we should be speaking about ourselves, okay? And I know it sounds super simple for this to be the mission for this week and to do these things and to get points for doing these things. But let me tell you what, this is the simple foundation of state that needs to be the baseline for how we grow like fitness and nutrition from here. Because without this is a missing piece to why weight loss hasn't been a consistent thing for you, why health hasn't been consistent, why confidence hasn't been consistent for you, or you haven't gained confidence in yourself. It's because this is what's missing. And so this week we are solely focused on uprooting those negative thoughts and pouring in new positive thoughts. Write it in on your challenge roadmap. Keep track of it every day. Do your power. Okay, complete power for half a point. Read your power statement first thing in the morning. Complete presence by listening to your presence track. And total your points on your roadmap for this week. So that is the 4 focus for this week. Starting tomorrow through Sunday, look out for the daily dose every day. A coach will be live every day this week to help you execute on this mission, to help give you tips and strategies and new angles to help you create your state this week. And I want you to, as we go along, like use the group to express your personal breakthrough. So as you're having a breakthrough, as you're having a revelation, as you're like, wow, like that really touched me, reading my power statement over myself, this is how my mindset has started to change this week. I want you to express that inside of your squad group, inside of your challenge group. Like go and post there and let me know, like, how are you having a personal breakthrough this week by doing this process, okay? And remember, you promised me you would go all in and play all out. So even if it's uncomfortable, even if it feels weird, trust me, it won't for long, because you'll see the change that it makes in you, in yourself. And the coaches will be live every day this week, helping you execute on this mission. And I will see you back for the next 4 focus next Monday.